Saludos, 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 saludos. Hello and welcome to el show favorito tuyo. El show de DJ Erick en la Mezcla. Only on In The Mix Radio. It's your boy, DJ Erick en la Mezcla, with you here in New York City, el capital del mundo. ¿Sabes qué? Estamos transmitiendo a través del monstruo de la radio de internet, In The Mix Radio. In The Mix con 2X, just for you. All right, and tonight we have the one and the only Star Hanson, ladies and gentlemen. He will be joining me in just a very few short moments, and you cannot miss this interview today, because here today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things that you will be interested in wanting to know about Star Hanson. I'm not going to tell you about it right this very second, and we're not going to talk about it right this very second either, because we're going to talk about a new track that he is debuting with us here on El Show de DJ Erick en la Mezcla. So, are you ready? Get ready, because here we are. We're going to introduce the one, the only, and I know you've been waiting to see him on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Let's welcome Star Hanson!
Hey, hello.
Hey.
Hey guys. Thanks for being on the show, and thanks for being a part of a very, very traumatic experience that a lot of people don't even know happened.
That actually took place.
That actually happened to me, to Hanson of Hanson and Davis, a.k.a. Star Hanson. We're getting ready to play my new single.
Right. We're going to be talking about the single first.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we're going to talk about the single first.
Got it. Goony Google. Got it.
Got it. All right. This is what happens when we're live. This is not staged.
No.
It's not script.
No.
Not 1 second of it, not one bit of it.
Not at all.
You and you are joining us here live in studio. Now, will the camera person just quickly scan over to this side so they could see what you're not seeing right now? Look at that. See? All that beautiful thing there. Look at the wonderful thing of what it is that we do with the green screen. Hi. All right. So, since you see Star Hanson on your top right, bottom in the middle, you'll see him right there. And Star Hanson rather, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks everybody for listening in and supporting the show and what we're doing. I mean it from the heart. Thank you.
And talk to us about Bounce It.
It's actually called Bounce.
Well, I got it here as Bounce It.
Bounce. It's called Bounce. I know. It's messed up. It's my error.
So are we supposed to be bouncing it?
Well, we're actually launching.
Bounce?
It's funny. We're launching a campaign for girl dancers. We want to create our own bounce girls.
Okay.
For the video. I did it with Strafe, who did Set It Off, who did Jennifer Lopez, who did so many producers.
Wait a minute. Wait. Did you just say he did Jennifer Lopez?
He produced. She's on. She's on.
I'm just saying. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Oh my God! No.
This is what we do.
No. We're doing a lot of work together. He has so many, platinum records and plaques in his house and his studios and stuff. And I noticed J-Lo. I was like, wow, that's my homie. That's my sweetie. I was so happy to see that. I was like, wow, I love J-Lo. So then I looked. I was like, yo, dude, I didn't know you did J-Lo. You worked with J-Lo.
You see?
But I didn't mean it like that. It was funny. I would have never thought about that. But yeah, so this is our new single. I did along with Strafe, Strafe.
Not Strafe.
Strafe, actually. And
well, we could do it French.
He's such an amazing writer, producer, singer, etc. I did it with DJ Thomas G, and special thanks to Miami Mike for the support and the love and making sure this project it's gotten where it's gotten this far. And special thanks to you, Eric, and the station. You guys are just amazing.
Well,
I really, really thank you.
Well, I mean,
sincerely.
thank you to you for, coming back onto the studio and, plugging the song, I mean, we only play the music, we're nothing without the artists.
And the artist is nothing without you, man. So.
And, well, we can't forget all you, the viewers, either.
Oh, you, the viewers. Right. That's so true. Nothing without the viewers, yeah.
The viewers, the listeners.
Oh, yeah.
And the fans.
And the fans, correct.
Can't forget the fans.
That's really, really important.
All right, so now talk to us a little bit about Bounce. How did it come about? How did it get collaborated? What was the concept behind it? The whole thing. How did it go?
I started out with DJ Thomas G, out of Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
He and I was doing a couple of projects, and I did a project with Freedom Williams. Everybody dance now. So we did a single together as well. And then there was another track that Thomas was messing around with, and I listened to it, and I came in, and I said, Thomas, man, this is hot. Let's work with this. So we started working on it. So then we did a little whatever, and then I came in and did some vocals, skeleton vocals. And I listened to it. I said, I've been all over the world, literally, and I've noticed that people still love freestyle. They love freestyle music. And, they don't want to let it go. And I went to Sal Abatello from Fever Music. I said, Sal, freestyle is, people want it. I love freestyle. I'm devoted to freestyle. Freestyle forever, baby.
That's
and
right.
so I said, he says, Hanson, I don't know if you could bring back freestyle. I said, I don't know if I have to bring it back, brother. People, it never went anywhere. So I got together with Strafe, and we did this track. And I'm hoping to be working with a couple other people. I don't know if they want me to name their names, but, TKA, as I said before, Tony from TKA said to me, Hanson, what are you waiting on, man? What are you waiting on, brother? What are you waiting on? Estoy loco? ¿Qué pasó? What are you waiting on? Yeah, so, I said, you know what, you're right. So then I went in and actually finished the song. So I hope you guys like it. And we're getting ready to go hard and pushing it and promoting it. But we need your help. We need your support. So please get behind it along with us. And let's keep freestyle forever alive.
For life.
For life.
All right? Keep it going. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually play the track real quick.
Yay.
We're going to take a quick break.
Yay.
We're going to play the track.
Yay.
And we'll come back with the interview that you've all been waiting to hear and see from the one and the only Star Hanson, and which, when we return, you see the screen next to me to, well, I guess if you're looking at the monitors at your screens, it'll be to your left. Well, it's my left right now, but yeah, well, this way. That one right there. You see that screen right there?
Nice.
You see it, right? You're probably wondering why we have a jail cell there. We'll talk about it when we come back from hearing Bounce. This is Bounce, Hanson and Strafe.
Hanson, Strafe. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Bounce, baby. Bounce, 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 baby. Bounce, baby. Move, baby. Come on, come move, baby. Work it, baby. Bounce, baby. Come on, come bounce, baby. Work it, baby. Move, baby. Check it. ablaze. As you amaze, flags are raised. But I'm feeling a connection, and I'm hoping you feel it too. So let's make it mutual. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's it. Bounce, baby. Bounce, bounce. Hands up, straight. Go, girl. I see you, and I see you, and I see you, and I see you, yeah. Work it, girl. Work it, baby. Work it, baby. Work it, baby. And it's with me, baby, that's me. Now bounce on me, bounce it on me, girl. And it's with me, baby, that's me. Just work it on me. I take this time to make you mine. It's really in my mind as I watch you from behind. I don't wanna stand in line, so I make my proposal to you for anything and everything you want to do. You make me wanna give you every ounce. No need to announce my disposition. You know where I stand. At attention. On the right, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for your love, yeah. Pull up to that bumper, baby. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Dance with me, baby, that's me. Bounce down on me, bounce it on me, girl. Dance with me, baby, that's me. Just work it on me. I gotta give it up. Come on, girl, give it up. Give it up, give it up. Get it up, get it up. Bounce it on me. You work it, yeah. Bounce it on me. Bounce it on me. Bounce it on me. Bounce it on me. Bounce it on me.
Bounce it on me. That's right. Bounce it on me.
Bounce it on me.
See, I'm just saying, it doesn't say bounce it. Well, it says bounce it. But you tell me, bounce it on me.
The way you work it.
There you go, see? All right. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. We are back. I'm with you right here. This screen right there somewhere. There we go. All right. All right. Hi. All right. So now we're going to bring back the one and the only Star Hanson, and we're going to explain why that screen is up. Now,
May I, because we're going live, may I just interject one thing?
sure.
I just want to give a special thanks to Sal Abatello from Fever Music and Vito Bruno, who put me in the business. You know, Sal has been walking me through, you know, how the business has changed and helped me so much. And he's such an amazing man. Please support fevermusic.com, Fever Records. Please support Freestyle. Support this man. He's helping and feeding so many people, so many babies, so many bills he's making sure get paid. Support this man. Shout out to my heroes, you know, Tony, TKA, K7, Coro, love you, man. Suave, my dude. And my motivation, George Lamont, my dude.
That's my boy.
And the princess of all princesses, Miss Judy Torres, and of course, Eric and I's future ex-wife, Cynthia.
Only mine. We're not sharing that one.
Cover girls, what's up? What's up? Lizette Melendez, love you, girl. Love you, girl. I hope I didn't. Oh, Sergio, yeah, Little Rome, yeah. You guys are just so beautiful in my life, and I thank you because as an artist, a lot of people think that we're like, you know, we're different. Like we're I don't know how they see us. Like we go through stuff more than the normal person, and we still have to get up there and do our work, you know, whether it's a studio, whether it's, you know, raising money for people or, you know, organization. I just raised money for the fire department, et cetera, et cetera. But the point I want to make is, you know, just pray for us, man. You know, we're doing the best we can, trying to give you the best we got.
Right.
Real talk, real talk. So we thank you. I just want to thank you. That's all.
All right. So, just so that we get ready to do this, because we have to flip switches and get into the mode of asking questions that we have to.
Ooh, yeah, it's going to be a little, it was a rough ride, so here we go.
And it's going to be another rough ride, as here on In the Mix Radio, El Show de DJ Erick La Mezcla, we're going to be talking about something that happened to Star Hanson, near and dear to his heart and his family members as well. Yeah. Now, before we go into asking questions, real quick, if you haven't done so yet, download the In the Mix Radio app. It's absolutely free. No one loves you more than In the Mix Radio.
Yay.
Because welfare doesn't give you away this for free the way we're giving it away for free. All right? It's free 99.
Yeah,
that's right, free 99. Download the app, and then you get to see this show along with other shows live when we go live, and you actually get to hear the music when we don't have a show going at the moment. So, and you get to hear music by Star Hanson as well. So,
and what's really cool is that you hear things, you get things on this station that you won't get on other stations. That's what's cool. It's so different and so raw. It allows artists and people and guests to just truly be themselves, and that you don't get. You know, a lot of times, you know, you go to television shows or different shows, and you know you have to say certain things and act a certain way. This is not that place.
We're just raw.
We're just raw and honest, man. Honesty is everything. It's the foundation of everything. The truth. The whole world was built on the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And you stand on the truth, you'll never fall. You'll never fail. It'll never fall apart because the truth is the foundation of all creation. But that's another conversation.
That's right. All right. So now also, real quickly, keep your eye and ears open for this, what we're going to do right now. Okay? Because what I'm going to let Star Hanson talk a little bit about this real quick, and then I'm going to go into the questioning of what I want to ask you.
Oh boy.
All right. So
here we go.
Here's the part where Star Hanson is going to give you a little bit of an introduction of what is happening here right now. See, the viewers, you at home, are watching this from the radio station live here, but you're getting to see this firsthand with us. Something that's never been done. Star Hanson?
We're not editing. This is straight facts. This is very raw, and I would have it no other way.
Okay. So now, real quickly, the title.
The title of this is called Who's the Criminal? There's a reason why I titled it Who's the Criminal.
But we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Now, what okay. What is it that we're doing? Explain to the viewers.
We're unveiling something that's been covered up for probably 20 years. Easy. 15, 20 years. Something that my family begged me, my mother, rest in peace, begged me not to sue these people. So I'm not going to sue them. my cousins, Betty Kane, Ray Kane, begged me, don't sue these people. You don't play with these people. And I said, you know, it's not fair. It's just not fair. But I honored, and I gave them my word I would not sue. But I did not say I would not reveal. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to reveal something that happened that is just so over the top. But you know what? Who knows? They may kill me after this. I don't know. But at least I did my job, and I kept my promises to my creator. And that's what I'm moving with. That's what I'm going with. You know, that's it.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go turn back the hands of time for a moment. Okay?
Okay?
And in the process of turning back the hands of time, what we're going to talk about happened when?
This was 89 maybe? No. No, I'm sorry. This was maybe 96, 95, 96. I got to look at the paperwork.
Okay. So we'll say 96 just for
95,
argument,
95, 96.
All right.
Yeah.
So between 95 and 96 just for argument's sake for the
Yes, sir.
meantime being.
Correct.
Okay. The summer of.
Correct.
Okay. Here in New York, between the summer of 95 and 96, Star Hanson was where?
At my mother's house.
And when you were at your mother's house, what happened?
It was my birthday, and you know, my ex-wife, Spinderella, the original Spinderella from Salt and Pepper, she and I had like differences of opinion, for lack of a better description. So what my mother would do is my mother would meet up with my ex-wife and, you know, meet my daughter, her granddaughter, and bring her home so I could see my baby. And it was an ongoing thing, you know. It wasn't like once a month or once, you know. It was an ongoing thing, which was cool. Spinnerella was really, really cool. And I was there visiting my baby, and it was my birthday, and that's all I wanted for my birthday was to be with my little girl. So she asked for stuff from the store. You know, she's a baby. She wanted candies and chocolates and this and that, and so I said, okay. So I got up and I started to go to the store. It was walking distance. And we were in Queens. My mother lived in Queens at the time. And I'm walking down the street, and I look up, and I have like 15, maybe 20 guns pointed at my head. I mean, come on. It's the summertime. I don't have on anything that looks like I'm hiding anything. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, why these police officers pointing guns at my head, you know. And then I said, hey, what's going on? And they were like, freeze, you know, up against the wall, it was actually a gate. There was a gate there. I think there's a house there now, but at the time it was a lot with a silver gate. So I put my hands on the gate, and I said, hey, you know, what's the problem? I just want to, I'm just going to the store. And they searched me, and of course I had nothing. And one cop would not put his gun down. He was shaking and sweating, and his eyes were red. And I kept looking at him, and I looked at the other police officer with the white shirt on, which I assume was an authority figure or a captain or a lieutenant or whatever he was. And I was like, could you please tell him to put his gun down? He's shaking. At any moment, I'm going to get shot in the head.
Okay, so now, when he was shaking, give us a visualization as to how he was shaking, in what way.
His gun was in his hand, and his hands were trembling, like it was just. I've never seen that before. I mean, I was looking at him like what is your dude, like what is your problem?
Right.
You know, he's looking at me and he's shaking, and he wouldn't put the gun down, and it's 2 inches away from my head, and I looked back, and when I looked at him, the barrel was literally an inch away from my eye. And I'm looking in the eye of the barrel of the gun that's trembling.
Right.
You know, but interestingly enough, I wasn't afraid. I'm like, I looked at the other officers. Could you tell this guy to put his gun down? Like, what is his problem? But you know, it didn't really hit me because I was kind of in shock.
Right.
It didn't hit me that at any second he could have unloaded his gun into my brain. It didn't even occur to me. You know, and what I realized later was that it wasn't even the cops' fault. They were just following orders. But we'll get into that later. But, you know, I'm looking. I mean, come on. Are you serious? I think the night before I just did a major show somewhere.
And now this is all during the
Hungry for Your Love, Tonight Love Will Make It Right. I had just finished working with doing the original version with Colonel Abrams, Music is the Answer, which launched his career with Winston Jonesy and Paul Simpson. And then I was doing, I was working with so many people. I had produced a album for MCA with Spinderella and her sister, her name was Pinky D, who was engaged to Teddy Riley from Guy for like 10 years or something. Beautiful. Teddy Riley is really super cool. It's an amazing. He's so talented. I would love to work with him. But the point is, yeah, this is all around that era where things were blooming, and you know, it just came out of nowhere, and rather than them let me go, they actually arrested me.
And now, but when they arrested you, talk us through the process as to what happened.
They, you know, after they searched me, they made me stand there for about, I don't know, half an hour, easy.
Okay.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm standing there with handcuffs on. First of all, do you have any idea how embarrassing that is? You're standing there with all these cops around you with handcuffs on, and people are walking by, giving you that look of, what did he do?
Right. So,
you know what I mean? They give you that look of, ooh, get the bad guy. And I'm like,
okay. So here, all right, but hold on.
I mean, come on. I mean,
So-
can you imagine how that felt? And I'm standing there, and I can't put my head down. I didn't have a hat on. I couldn't put my head down. I couldn't hide my face. So they said, oh, my, I'm thinking to myself, people know me from the business as an artist.
Well, that's what I was going to get ready to ask you.
Right.
So while you're there, was there anybody at the moment
that recognized
that
me?
recognized Star Hanson?
I would have to say two people walked by and looked, but we didn't have internet at the time, and they were like, wait a minute, isn't that, you know? And I'm standing there, bro. I got on handcuffs behind my back. Cops got their guns out, not
Right.
put away, but out, and I'm standing there like a moron, you know, early in the morning. This is maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, I got you.
Come on, I was so happy to see my little girl, and when you find out, it was all because I looked Latino or black.
Right.
That's the crazy part. And then when they found out who I was and they knew I was going to sue, we're going to get into that later.
Right.
They didn't want to let me out. They didn't want to let me. They tried to force me to cop out to something I did not do.
Now, once again,
But we'll talk about that later.
right. We're live here on In the Mix Radio on El Show de DJ Erick La Mezcla, and we're streaming live right now. Actually, I'm streaming live through Instagram. So I'm live on Instagram, and they're watching this. So you're probably seeing the screen right here where I'm at with a phone in hand because I'm streaming. So big hello to everybody that's watching the show right now. Unfortunately, we're not able to be streaming on Facebook Live, which is okay.
They're changing their format.
Right.
So
which
it's
is
cool.
okay. It's
It's
all
cool.
right.
It's cool. Yeah.
But you can always go into inthemixradio.com.
.com. Yeah, baby.
Right. So let me see if I could just find. All right, hold on. We're going to go to the flyer for one quick second. So you could see. All you got to do is go to that website, inthemixradio.com, and you could see the show live with all of this effect here. You see me there. You see Star Hanson of Hanson and Davis from the wonderful hit song that went like this.
Hungry. Hungry for your love.
There you go.
Hungry.
All right. So now going back to the story. All right. So here's the thing. All right. So now you're being processed. Oops, wrong. Here we go. Back. Okay. Here we go. So you're being processed, and what happens?
Well, I didn't get into, I want to talk about the humiliation of being arrested. I mean, there's so many young kids out there that think that being arrested and going to Rikers Island or going to jail is a cool thing.
Otherwise known as The Rock.
Otherwise known as The Rock. Until they get there, and then they're like, "Mommy, get me out of here. Daddy, get me out of here." I don't know. When I was growing up, there was nothing cool about being arrested. But today, these kids think that it's cool. They really think that it's cool, and until they get there. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened when I was arrested, and how they had me standing in this cage. And that's why I don't like to see birds in cages. I always let them out. It's nothing cool about being in a cage.
So we could safely say you're not a bird.
No, I'm not a bird.
You're not a
man.
bird.
No. So
the truth, remember, the truth shall set you free.
the truth is the foundation of it all. That's so true.
And it's not funny, ha ha, but it's funny how that saying got you free.
That saying did get me free. That saying got me free next to fasting and praying, because remember, I was locked up for 2 years, and they would not even tell me what the charges were.
Okay, so but
But
before
we're not
you,
going to get into that. Okay.
we're going back now to
Okay.
you being in the cage
Right.
with everybody
I'm in
else.
the cage. The cage holds around 15 people comfortably. There was probably around 35. So there was like standing room only, literally. And you're there with all types of people, from people who are alcoholics to people who are Wall Street corporate, people who were drunk driving. Just it's such a collaboration of people who broke the law. And I get it. The law, we need the law. Without the law, everything will fall apart. I get it. But there's certain things and certain situations that should not be outside of the law.
Mm-hmm.
If you're representing the law, then represent the law, and we support you. But if you're representing you or whatever mission you're on, then why do we have to pay for it? But that's another conversation. The point is, I get it, but standing there for 4 hours, 5 hours, watching dudes in another corner of the cell get their chains snatched off their neck, and somebody else getting punched in the face, and they taking their watch, and then you see another guy walking around barefoot, and 5 minutes ago you saw him with Nikes on. You saw his sneakers because they were nice, but when he came out of that cell, he was barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing glorified. There's nothing cool about being locked up. I was there, and I've seen things I'm going to talk about. I experienced things I'm going to talk about. Like when I got to Rikers Island, you just would not believe, what goes on. You just people think they know. You watch these shows on television, and
the movies as well.
And the movies, and you think that's how it is, and it's so much worse, so much worse. And remember, I didn't do anything. I was innocent. And when you hear what happened at the end, you'll understand why I call this "Who's the Criminal." But
So
I'm talking too much, right, Eric?
But going back to experiences going on at The Rock, otherwise known as Rikers Island. Give us an experience on the first day of you being at the Rikers Island.
My first day at Rikers Island, outside of having to stand in a cage butt naked with maybe, 20 other dudes standing there butt naked, waiting to be called out and telling us to lift up our, can I say it? Lift up our huevos, lift up our
testicles.
Testicles. Lift up our testicles and then squat on the floor, and with our hands on our knees, while police officers look up our, you know, personal parts to see if we're hiding anything, because I didn't, you know, some people, they
They
bring
were able to
things,
smuggle
they
things in.
smuggle things in, and that's how they do it. Okay, so, you know, humiliation is literally the epitome of an understatement. You know, the humiliation was just so bizarre. But okay, so here I am. I'm going through the process. I've never been afraid to defend myself, and people, I think they kind of pick and choose who they can mess with. And I'm not a killer, I'm not a gangster, but, you know, I'm still a man where I stand. And, you know, but at the end of the day, 5 guys jump on you. I don't care how good you can fight. You're in a corner, you know, you just never know. And
Right.
I've seen, my first day on Rikers Island, I seen, like, these 7 or 8 guys just attack one dude, and they was just, and I was like, wow. I've never seen them before. You know, I didn't know what was happening. I was looking through the window, and I'm watching maybe 20 feet away at these guys just continually stab some guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, and honestly, for me, it scared me to death. I was like, oh my God. At any point, somebody could just take you out, just like that, over something stupid like, you know, they have what's called phone slots. So your phone slot could be 15-minute phone slots, or depending on how many people want to use the phone, 10-minute phone slots. You know, and if you're, you know, have some kind of props, your phone slot could be 20 minutes. You know, or maybe you could buy somebody's phone slot, and you'll have a half an hour on the phone, so you could talk to your wife or your family or your lawyer or whatever it is you're trying to reach out to, because remember, you're in jail. So, you know, the only access you have to the world is that telephone.
Right.
If you get no visits. So if no one's visiting you and you can't use the phone, then you're really at the mercy of who really loves you. How do you know who really loves you? Get locked up. And whoever visits you, they love you. That's so true, man.
Really?
It is so true. Yeah, because what they're saying is, you know, we love you, and we're willing to let you know that you're not by yourself, and we're
Right.
going to do this with you. You know, that's a big thing. So anyway, that was my first day. My first day was, you know, the humiliation of having to stand around butt naked, and people look all into my private parts, and then taking away certain, like my sneakers and certain things, they had to take away because the colors. If I had on certain colors, you're not allowed to wear certain colors in jail. You're not. So, you know, you can't wear red, you can't wear blue, you can't wear certain colors, because it says that you're, in their minds, you're a part of some kind of gang or some kind of under, you know, organization or something. And,
Right.
you know, and I got an issue with you telling me what I can wear, but remember, when you go to jail, you have no rights. So the laws that give you the freedom to wear what you want when you want, see you later, bye-bye, they don't exist anymore. So now you're at the mercy of whatever the correction officers allow you to do or wear or eat or go. It's a whole nother head. So to answer your question, yeah, my first day on Rikers Island, and I'll never forget it, in the next cell, you know, you couldn't see the people, but you could see what was going on. And I saw these guys just literally just continue to stab this guy, and they just wouldn't stop. And it hit me that this is real. This is real, and this is real, and this is real.
Right.
So I had to let go of the Hanson and Davis. I had to turn off the Hungry for Your Love. I had to forget about my daughter. I had to forget about the shows I had scheduled over the next month or two, or Christmas. I had to turn all of that off and focus on living through this experience, making it home. Making it home. And that was my mission, was to just be quiet. You know, this guy was locked up for 20 years. He said to me, I'll never forget it, This is further down. I was working in the in recreation. I got a little job in jail in recreation, and they gave me no bail. They wouldn't give me a bail because they knew they were wrong. But this guy in recreation told me, he says, "Listen, man, if you want to survive here, keep your mouth closed, eyes open, and keep your back against the wall, and you'll make it home." And I never forgot that.
But you know what? What's crazy is that they actually say that. You see that being said in the movies as well.
But for someone, and check this out. Here's the crazy thing. He had been locked up for 20 years. 20 years. They gave him 25 years. He had been locked up for 20 years. And we were eating, and he told me that. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, man, so what are you going to do when you get out?" You know, he came in from work early and caught his wife in bed with another man. And he snapped. And he killed them both. True story. And I said, "So what are you going to do when you go home?" He says, "Well, she destroyed my life forever." You know, he didn't kill her. He killed the boyfriend. She was still alive. He says, "I'm going to find her, and I'm going to finish what I started." Because at this point, all I know is jail. I don't know how to live on the street. I don't know how to drive these new cars. I don't know anything about what's going on right now. And it blew my mind. You know, you don't think about things like that. You know, he was locked up so long that he had no idea. You know what it is when you're locked up? There's no puppies. There's no dogs. There's no cats. You understand? There's no animals. There's no going to to Great Adventure or Coney Island. There's no walking your child down the block or going to visit grandma or, you know, going to a barbecue or there's none of that.
Right.
You can just forget about all of that. You know, something simple like being able to play with a dog. You know, sometimes we don't realize how blessed we are.
You don't appreciate the freedoms that you have.
Just to be able to go to a puppy park, a dog park, and say hi to some of the dogs. I love dogs.
Or even for that matter, just simply go out to...
Birds.
Oh, yeah.
Cats.
You and birds.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know. Well, I'm actually a dog. I love puppies. But
I love puppies, too.
When I was a kid...
Puppies!
Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, my mother used to always say... She would always wonder where the food was going, and then she would go in the basement. I had like 4 stray dogs, 2 cats, a bird with I'd tape up his wing if he couldn't fly. So I was always collecting stray animals. And she would kick my butt. But it's true, she would kick my butt. But I love, you know, I love animals. But anyway, you know, those are the things you don't realize you lose when you go to jail. You know what I mean? And it hit me one day. I was on a bus going to court, bringing me from Rikers Island to the courthouse, and I was looking out the window on the bus in chains, chained up, and I'm looking out the window, and the window has cages on it, so you can only see like little holes, little peepholes, little things. You got to really try to look out the window. And I was looking at this lady with these 2 dogs, and the dogs were kissing her, and it hit me. I may never see that again. I may never be able to touch or taste a dog licking my face again. And you know, I know it sounds corny, man, but I'm going to tell you, it's real stuff, man.
All right, so being there, you were there, you were seen by the judge how many times?
Well, now we're getting really, you know, I don't want to jump the gun. I had one lawyer who was a horrible lawyer before Stephen James, who was they called him the Johnny Cochran of the East Coast. Before God sent me this attorney, because remember, I was facing 50 to life for nothing, just because of how I looked, because they just wanted to close, they needed a body to close that case. They didn't know that who I was in the entertainment business. I was just a body to close that case.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy. So this first attorney was just horrible. I'm not going to say his name. He was horrible. I mean, he was trying to get me to cop out or, you know, take a plea, they call it, you know, to admit to a crime that I didn't do. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So then they would postpone my next trial date for another 3 months, hopefully, if I had enough. Because when you go to prison,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit more easier to live than city jail. City jail is like Rikers Island. Prison is state.
Right,
So
right,
the
right.
food
right.
is different. The sleeping arrangements is different. Blah, 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 blah. So, you know, but if you're losing your mind because you're constantly doing, you know, doing this city thing, a city time they call it, you know, a lot of times people will just say, you know what, I'll just take the 3 years. I've been here a year and a half, another year and a half, I'll go home. And they're innocent. You know, but 95% of the people that get arrested are guilty. Let's get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. But understand,
Yeah, I was about to say.
there's no 95, 96. I would have to say even 98% of the people that actually get arrested are guilty. But there's always that 2 or 3%,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that really just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, they say, I guess, for lack of a better description. But when I tell you what happened, and when you really hear why there was no reason whatsoever I should have been arrested, it's going to blow your mind. And that's why I call it Who's the Criminal.
Right, but going back to the question, though, when you had seen, how many times did you go see the judge?
Well,
that's why I'm trying to work up to.
Right. Well, the first, I would have to say, of course, you know, before you go to Rikers Island, you go to an arraignment, and then they do whatever they do, and then they ship you off to wherever you're going to be housed. So I would have to say in the first 6 months, I may have seen a judge twice, maybe 3 times, maybe.
And that was before.
And this is all while, check this out. This is all while my attorney, my first attorney, would not give me my paperwork. Now watch this. Now my second attorney, because I had to get rid of my first attorney, my second attorney asked me one question. The man is so brilliant. He said to me one question. He came in. Now here I am locked up for a year now. This is a year. He came in and he goes to me. He goes, look at this ring, man. You see this ring? Isn't that beautiful? He said, man, my girl bought me this ring. It's diamond and it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at him like, dude, I'm locked up a year. What's going on with my case? When can I get out of here? And he's look at this tie. You like this tie? I said, what? I said, what's going on with my case? He goes, well, Mr. Hanson, did you do it? I said, do what? He says, you have these, this is what happened. This, he didn't say this what happened. He says, you have on this date. I said, I don't even think I was in New York on this date. I don't even think I was in New York when this happened. Turns out the case was 2 years old or something like that.
Okay.
Or a year old or whatever it was. I gotta really look at the minutes, the paperwork. But he goes to me, if you didn't do it, it's best that you don't know what happened. I said, what? He said, the less you know about what happened,
The better off you are.
the better off you are, because when you sit on the stand, because you are going to trial. I said, absolutely. He said, when you sit on the stand and the jury's, you know, and they're asking you questions, the more familiar you are with what happened could hurt you.
Right.
And I wanted to throw up, but it made perfect sense. And I looked at him and I just started praying. I said, God, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. So I didn't know what I was arrested for until I actually went to trial.
Wow.
Can you believe that? And watch when you hear, watch when you hear why I was arrested. unbelievable. But we'll get into that. I know we kind of pushed for time.
Yeah, we're getting close to it. But still in all, so you gotten seen by the arraignment a few times?
No.
It
I
was
went to-
once.
Actually, I didn't go to any arraignment. I stayed in. They kept me in a cell, and I came back and I said, "So what's going on? What happened?" They said, "Well, you're going to Rikers Island."
All right, so then...
What?
But see, this is what I'm trying to find out
Now,
because...
mind you, my daughter is still waiting on her chocolate and her candies. You believe that?
But
'Cause
now,
this
hold
is
on.
the next day.
But hold on. So now, what I'm trying to get is, how much time was it before Stefan came into the picture? That's what I'm trying to get.
Before Stephen James came into the picture, I had to have been locked up for a year. Easy. A year. And remember, I couldn't call Vito Bruno or Sal Abatello or any of the booking agencies or say, "Hey, man, I'm locked up." It's not like I knew their phone numbers out off the top of my head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
How do I contact them? My mother's a pastor. She didn't even know there was a Sal Abatello. You know what I mean? She didn't know there was a Vito Bruno. She knew what church to go to, though. But she didn't know anything about a freestyle concert. When she go out, her party is church. When we went out, we went to the fun house.
To the Palladium.
To the Palladium.
Emerald City.
Yeah, we went to
Red Zone.
to Fever.
Yeah.
What was Sal's club in the Bronx?
In the Fordham, Kingsbridge, yeah.
What was his club?
Yeah, I can't remember right now.
Sal launched it. His club was called Vito took the Palladium to another level, and Sal had in the Bronx. It was called the
I can't remember. Jesus Christ.
something Nest.
No.
No. Oh my goodness.
No, it was not the Devil's Nest.
Not the Devil's Nest. No. It was called. Oh my God.
Well, we'll get back to it
Okay.
again eventually.
All right.
So then, but anyways, so then comes along Stephen James,
Right.
and how did that take place?
Well, we're gonna talk. I want to tell a little bit more about what happened during that course of the year, and how it built up to Stephen James coming into play.
Okay. But before, I mean, we're not, because of time constrictions.
Okay.
Give
my
us
mother, rest in peace. My mother and my baby brother, rest in peace, who's also a pastor, found him, or like I said, I fast and prayed. God has an amazing way of putting you in a situation where the only one you can depend on is the Creator God Himself. And this man, when I tell you how I met him, it's going to blow your mind. How God answers prayer. I mean, we got time for me to do a quick?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm in my cell, waiting to see the judge. This is maybe a year and some change later. And I had been fasting and praying nonstop. And there was these two Muslim guys sitting down. And they were talking about this attorney, and they were reading the newspaper. The correction officer was nice enough to give the newspaper to the inmates,
Okay.
which they don't do, which a lot of them don't do, but a lot of them do. A lot of them are really cool going, "Here, man, read the paper." So these guys are, is that our signal?
It's supposed to be, but hold on, let me see. Hold on. Keep talking, don't worry about it.
They were talking about this attorney that was so amazing and this and that. If they had this attorney, he would work it out with them, and they know they'd go home and get out of jail and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there. And while I'm sitting there, this guy walks in, and he goes, "Mr. Hanson?" He goes, "Mr. Hanson?" We're still on or no?
Yeah,
He goes, see the screen? That's why. Right. He goes on, he goes, "Mr. Hanson." And I'm sitting next to this Muslim brother with the newspaper, and I see the face, and I look up, and he goes, and I hear this guy goes, "Mr. Hanson." I look at through this jail cell, And I look at the page, and I look at him, and he goes, yes. He goes, I'm your attorney. And everyone in the cell jumped up and go, wait, Mr. James, counselor, could you take my case? Could you take my case? And he goes, no, I'm just here to see Mr. Hanson.
And on that note, we're going to be back on another time. We've run out of time here for this show. So you guys are going to have to be staying tuned to watching what's going to happen here to the one and the only Star Hanson. On that note, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching El Show de DJ Erick en la Mezcla. And for those of you that were a part of it, you were just tuned to watching the making of...
Who's the criminal? Who's the criminal? Who is the criminal? I was innocent. All I wanted to do was do my music. Can you believe that? Unbelievable.
Yeah. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Que Dios me lo bendiga a todos. Chao. Nos vemos.
Thank you, guys.
That's all, folks.